This sounds definitely disqualified, right? Okay, so we've got General Dave from the United Kingdom. He's got a fancy zombie avatar. Cassava, non-premium from Morocco. It's a nice flag, actually, that one. The star. Nikola Bose from Serbia. Yeah, nice fancy cosmetics. Wild Vink, Sweden. These are all looking like good players. And I think weekends you do tend to see that slightly higher caliber of players sometimes. The big boys are coming out to play. And I think not just the players are better, but also that they have more time. Because I think often if I play on a weekday, it's like I have quite a finite amount of time to finish the game before work. But it feels like the other players are in that situation too, so you don't see the same kind of stalemates. Whereas, oh, this is actually kind of tough with the blizzards. You can see North Africa and Europe, which will kind of pen this in. But you also might see Greenland, which could pin this. Let's give it a shot. Hope for the best. This can easily get pinned by Siam. This can, very easily get blocked into Africa. This is kind of open, but it's, it has the same vulnerabilities. It's like, if someone takes Greenland, that's my kryptonite here, but also, if they take Greenland and I'm in Ontario, I'm in the same issue. I guess worst case scenario is, we're seeing North Africa, Ukraine, and Greenland all capped, and I'm really trapped into the middle here. It's possible. Those are all good caps. But, there's some others here, someone might pick Siam, Brazil, Central America, China, India. They might go in Australia. Popping up the wins loss record for this. Oh, I need to change the music as well, because we are going to do classic music. Let's see what YouTube has to offer. Oh, I'll have a look after my turn. Okay, nice. So someone's not capped Greenland. We might see, we're seeing the pressure from North Africa. We don't know about Ukraine yet. We do know the purple's there. Let's try this classical music for when you're on a deadline and see how that goes. Is that coming through? Okay, nice and dramatic. I'll just blow the royal notch. Oh, I didn't think it actually attacked me in Australia. White did from New Guinea. It's purple here. Black's not made any attacks yet. I am curious, did purple actually cap Ukraine? He did, yeah. So I think next turn, let's find out what's going on. You know, in North America, is there a cap in Central America, Alaska, you know, Venezuela, Kamchatka? Red has a natural play for Africa here. He has to split at least once because he's got these two directions to go. Like, could have split here instead, but you know, he has to split somewhere. He, if I were him, I probably would have just taken that because, like, you know, if they're gonna let him have it next turn, they probably will let him have it now, and it's only purple who has the option to even break. Black's already surrendered. So where is this black player that's made him surrender? It's possible something's gone, you know, sour over Australia or South America, maybe. It's often when players get blocked in that you see these like very early surrenders. White's starting their turn with 7 troops, so I think they already have Australia. They don't have a second cap yet. So it might not be Australia where you know, where we're seeing black because White took that so easily. You know, it might have taken longer if they had to fight black over it and take a cap. Unless I think it is Australia, but maybe they took black's cap and not the bonus. Purple really venturing over to see what's going on in Australia. If White has capped, you know, New Guinea, it would be possible for purple to break them if you know, if White's on Indonesia or Siam, I don't think we'd see the same thing. So are we going to see, you know, White still pulling 7 troops a turn next turn, or, you know, will it be something different to that? Okay, getting some visibility down on Central America. Okay, what about, you know, maybe greens in Kamchatka. Keeping this 3 really nice and open. Red takes their bonus, so we're going to be expecting to see red pulling 8 troops per turn. You know, they're already getting 5. Africa plus 3. You know, and I think with, you know, purple's stacked quite big here, unless he's going to be the one to break. You know, I think we would be expecting red to hold on to, you know, this 2-point bonus with their cap in North Africa. Does pink have a bonus? He does. He's starting with plus 7 a turn. So pink, I think, is holding South America. Which does make it a little bit confusing of where, like, what is black doing? Purple's not yet seen my cap. You know, is he going to get frustrated when he realises that, you know, it's not going to be as easy for him to take Europe as he necessarily would have liked. And, you know, seeing White still starting with 7 troops, hanging on to Australia, they've made 1 attack, and ending their turn. Round 3, we're soon going to find out, you know, is somebody holding a 2nd cap, or is everyone still holding 1 cap with Black holding onto, you know, his original cap. And this purple cap is no longer a question mark, it is now a certainty. We know that his cap is there on Ukraine. And, you know, he's really pausing there because he's thinking, like, I wanted Europe, but it's not playing out that way anymore. You know, what does he make of that? He doesn't slam the cap. He sort of continues downwards, but he did pause, and I think that stop for thought really illustrates that, you know, sometimes in the fog of war, when you are surprised, it does take longer to really work out how you want to do things. I really don't know where... Okay, there's Black's cap. So we now know where all of the caps are. And I'm not sure why he surrendered. Maybe he wanted Australia, had the other half of his troops off cap in Australia maybe, and then he wasn't happy when White took that. The only one is, I think White did attack from here in the 18. But that doesn't necessarily 100% mean that White's cap is there. You know, he could have gone through. So White's cap's around there, but not necessarily there exactly. And we're going to mark Black's cap. And I think we saw, when Purple went to... Oh, this keeps coming out messy. But when Purple went to investigate what was going on with White, White still held the bonus. So I don't know whether that's White's cap is actually, you know, Siam or Indonesia making it impossible for Purple to break it, or whether White had an off-cap stack making it hard for Purple to break it. You know, yeah, Pink taking a lot over here. You know, he probably does want that bonus. Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to force me there, but if he's willing to get a lot of troops off, you know, he could definitely make me think twice. It's going to be hard, I think. You know, I could take it. Oh, actually, I can't even take it, so... You know, I think hopefully what we see is that, you know, Pink recognises that, you know, neither of us are likely to really hold this, and this is a valuable trading ground for the two of us. What Red hanging on to... Oh, wait. Huh. White can't have a lot on both caps. Okay, I think that's their whole stack. Now they're taking, you know, 8 out of that 16 off. Black surrendered, so he sort of counts as being dead anyway. He does have 1 card, so, like, I could take this one because I'm going to be taking the card anyway. And then, you know, there's that possibility that that is his final territory, and I grab a card. Whether I necessarily want the card now, though... Because does that just make me trade first? I'll also have more cards. I do also want to get this 3 out, and I'm not necessarily convinced that me being the 4 trade, and then, you know, the other players get, because it's Prog getting the, you know, the 6, 8, 10, 12, is actually necessarily what I want on the first card trade, and I also don't want to waste 2 troops to Pink here. You know, I'm giving it another turn while I make this move that I wanted. Hopefully Pink does want to trade over here with cards, because if he doesn't, you know, these options are a lot more penned in between, you know, you've got Purple in Ukraine, Red in North Africa. Red's not going to want to open up Africa. You know, maybe Red wants to trade here, so perhaps removing him from here when we know that, you know, Purple's cutting this, forces Red to card trade with us in this pocket. I think it's a little bit early for him to really want to hold that. Like, it's not that I'm never going to let him hold it, but it's literally round 5. You know, the trades aren't even getting bigger yet. Like, I think it's one thing, bigger card trades balancing out him having, excessive bonuses. It's another thing allowing him to, hold those kind of bonuses when, I'm not even getting the card trades to keep my cap safe. That I don't want to just allow him to spiral out of control and take my cap before I even get a chance to use cards and defend it. And if we're letting him hold, it's already on 7, add 5 to that 12. 3 rounds, 4 rounds of, 12 a turn. If that stacks here, we're talking 48 troops. This cap isn't going to be able to take that. So I do think we need to not necessarily stunt Pink's growth entirely and forever, but, to kind of slow it down a little bit because he's taking things a little bit too fast. Got a couple of viewers. How's it going, guys? How's your Sunday? It's 11:54 for me here. What time's it for you over there? He can kill black and get the instant trade. Though, it's... That makes him get the 6 trade, pushes me up to the 8 trade, so I'm not necessarily upset about it. I want to take red out of this corner, but at the same time I do want to break pink. And it's, I keep having these turns where there's like a lot of different things going on, and I don't want to, use loads of troops making loads of different attacks. It's a shame there's no way of me really saying to pink, like, there's nothing personal, but, you just need to slow it down a little bit with these bonuses. You can have them once we get into a slightly later game where, it becomes more about the cards and the bonuses aren't such a crazy dominant factor. But, it's, at this stage in the game, I think it's a little bit early for him to be, holding more bonuses than really, the rest of us combined. Because, you've got me and purple on nothing, red on +3, white on +2. Does pink really need to be on, +7 worth of bonuses? I do think getting red out of here sooner rather than later is important because yeah, maybe after this turn, because I'm going to trade, then he can have it. The trades are getting up to 8, soon it'll be 10, 12, so I think it's... The thing is, he doesn't even attack anyone apart from me anyway, so he's going to have to be attacking over here. So it's like, if he was fighting someone with his bonus troops, is one thing, but he literally... he can attack me here and kind of my stuff over here as well. Given actually how things turned out, I think that Ontario cap might have been able to have at the start, maybe not, would have been not so bad. Hopefully pink doesn't get too salty. And clear out my 6 there, because I think now I'm actually going to be letting him have a lot. So now red, with his cap in North Africa, I wouldn't say certain, but I think it feels unlikely that he's... That's not black anymore actually, that's white, but... He's really outside of that area. Okay, so yellow, pink's had his bonus broken, so actually blocking red over here, then red took the card here instead. which does sort of slow down Pink's spiral to taking all these bonuses. And I think finally we're seeing, big enough card trades that it's fine for him to have that. Like it's yeah. When we were talking a 4 card trade, I didn't want them getting +5 plus 2 plus the 2 for the cap 7. I didn't want them getting 12 per turn. Whereas now actually trades at 15, it's only getting bigger. It is less of a worry. Does White clear me out here? I mean, White could have a play for Asia, depending on what Purple thinks in Ukraine. I think I'm trying to keep my cap really nice and strong, because there's not much I can do really, like that, apart from just getting, surviving. Like the other players, like for example, Red, holds Africa. White has Australia in a second cap. White even has a play for Asia, Pink has a play on 2 bonuses. The way I'm going to get troops isn't from trading early and making, crazy plays to take extra things. It's more from, hanging on until the later card trades and getting the most out of that. So, if I'd traded at 15 here, I'd have got 15 troops. Whereas if I can trade after some of these players, in the best case scenario, we're talking, he trades 15, 20, 25, 30. I trade, 35. So, in a sort of crazy best case, it could be that I'm getting, more than double the troops out of my card trade by trading later than I would if I traded early. And I think that's how, from this position of me just having this 1 cap and no bonus plays, that I could start to accumulate some troops and be in with a chance of winning this. Pink starting their turn with 10 troops. So I think that implies they're holding North America's +5. They've got 3 standard troops and +2 for holding the cap. What they're not holding right now is South America, which I think, knowing that Red's cap's here, I would suggest that Red has broken Yellow's bonus. We're seeing a big stack coming off White's cap, which goes to leader 3 out of 6, and White has taken Purple's cap. Not sending a lot this way. Purple, if he wasn't on 5 cards right now, I think would die. He's still probably quite close to dying. But, if I had been before him in the turn order, I would have gone for the kill, because, he really is just tucked in here. And I think leader 3 out of 6, so he's not getting the cap. There's not a lot that he can do, he's hovering over the dice. Is that slow roll maybe? Slider, but whether, if he suicides his troops, easy kill for me. If he doesn't, well, for the sake of 3 cards, it's still kind of tempting. I think he's on about 16 troops. 3 cards is worth 30. If I don't take it, maybe somebody else will. I could try and kill him without the trade to see if I can... Let's just see first what he does have. Oh, he has... Okay, it wasn't worth it anyway. So we'll leave him to... White's cap's weak there. To maybe suicide some of those troops. I'm like kind of at risk now, the board's quite volatile of... The thing is, Purple suiciding me is probably... unless he trades 25... Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be so strong. I'm glad I didn't attack the 8 first, because then I would have had my cap even weaker. But if someone else trades, there's a couple of people who could have a shot on my cap, but I think particularly Purple. And it's not necessarily that it's worthwhile for him, or even that he would kill me, but that, I could lose a lot from it. I think the The good thing about if purple goes for me is that I go directly after him, so at least I can trade. So it's not going to be unless he kills me, but if he doesn't kill me, I get to trade. White might really have the run for Asia now, which I do think makes me more exposed to a purple trade and kill. Red and pink holding on to the late trades, building up a lot of that tension, troops that they're ready to deploy at a moment's notice. White, I don't think, is going for the instant Asia take because they're blocking their cap this way. So I think, he takes a card. He's still holding 3 caps, so, White is the dominant force here. I do think it sort of balances out a little bit the fact that we're seeing, heavy stack from pink here, a potential Asia play from white here. White actually has this now, so don't suicide into me, purple. So, white can be holding Asia from these 2 points, but, there's a lot of strength from... he's on 50-ish troops. Okay, the trade's not that big. I think if he doesn't trade again... I don't really want to open purple stack to me because I feel like there's a very high potential for him to just suicide now because he's in a bad position. And I think the fact that he's only open to really suicide into white's cap there rather than mine is nice if that continues. Red holding 8, still hanging on to that Africa bonus, not on 12 territories. So yeah, I think if white does go for this crazy Asia play, pink could have something to say about it. And it's not just these 14 troops, but also, the fact that he's getting +5 from North America and that, pink has potential to also trade in for the additional, 35 troops. Did I hang on to my wild card? I did. Free Money says, yo, welcome to the stream, man. How's it going? He says, adds 2 sex offer. I wonder if there's a way for me to make it so there's fewer ads. Okay, so we're seeing actually a number of attacks from pink, which aren't in North America. We know that it's not there because, he has his cap here. No one's taken that, he's holding these caps. I think red has, taken some territories on pink to get cards. And as a result, Free Money says, good day, sir. Thanks, man. Good day to you. And, red's been taking cards on pink, and pink is not happy about that. He wants, these 2 bonuses. Pink likes to hold, a lot of troops per turn. White is actually surprisingly moderate in his takes. He's not even really pushing towards this Asia hold. Actually kind of happy to card trade with me. He could force me out of here and card trade with pink, but that I wouldn't be blocked. I could just trade with purple, but still, white is, for now, seemingly a good trading partner. Yeah, it seemed like he had a cap around Australia. We don't know exactly where that was. It seemed like purple made a couple of attacks now, and I think he's on about 50 troops. Trade at 40. It feels worth it, not just to... Yeah, I think it is worth it, because we were also not just getting the cards, but also removing an opponent from the game. Just doing it this way so we can really just see what is going on before sort of committing to... And we know red has the bonus. Okay, lost 39 troops. Do I want white's cap? How many cards is white on? 3. Could trade, he won't definitely trade. Feels a little bit greedy. It's borderline, isn't it? Because it's like if I lose 40 on it, I'll have 30 to defend each cap. You know, I could be losing 60 on it. And then I've got, 15 to defend each cap, which feels like madness. It says, good day, sir, passing out. Have you been working hard carrying the bags again? Red, is he going to be hitting back into yellow, into... Okay, he is. So I think what we're seeing from Pink is he is a very bonus-oriented player, and he likes to get stacks, off-cap stacks, onto the borders of his bonuses, and that was what we saw with him taking those 2 territories. So he's, it's not just me that he's defending his bonuses against, it's also Red. He probably had, a 12 stack here. Red slammed that, losing 10 troops, and he's broken Pink's bonus. What's Pink going to do about that? He's kind of forced to take a card up here. He's not going to get a card against Iceland. He's not going to get a card against North Africa. He shouldn't clear me from here because it just forces me to break him for the card. And actually pulling that back I think is sensible because he does... He needs to trade cards, he can't afford to just card block himself. The white player is in just a very strong position all around in that, they have a lot of troops, they have a lot of caps. They might not be defending whichever one's at the bottom, just because he did seem to pull a lot of troops forward. I think he had a few on it. But, short of just taking out a couple of his caps, I think it'd be really hard to block white here. Keeping these off-cap stacks nice and strong, because I don't think I'm going to lose my cap here, but I do think it's possible that I could get kind of blocked in, because, I'm blocked by myself over here. I don't want, I always can hit this, but I don't want to have to hit this. Has yellow defended this again? Red's trading a little bit early on 4 cards rather than 5. Trading with me up here. It could... Oh! Did I catch that? Lost 80 against 50. It's a shame my cap's blocked to directly respond to that without losing 30. Actually, it's even blocked here, so... It is a shame. Is he just... What is happening? Is he killing white, but sort of unsuccessfully? That really, to me, just came absolutely out of nowhere. Leader 3 out of 6, but that could be red now. He doesn't know about this. And he's closed himself there, so, he's not killing white. I have a trade. White can go before me, though, which is a shame, because I think what I would have liked here is to have traded and killed white for his 4 cards. There's always that 20% chance that he doesn't have the trade on 4. But, the 80% chance is that he does have a trade on 4 and that he will be willing to use it. Okay, and before he even gets a chance to use the trade on 4, white right in there, all the way up to 8 cards. Red surrenders. So we're now looking at a final 1v1 between me and Pink, who has a chance to take a lot of caps here. And has a lot of troops. How does he defend this? Can kill red, putting him on 4 cards. If he has time. He's got a decent chunk of time, so I think unless he, procrastinates and does something silly. That was a weird pathing, unless red didn't have this, but... he's quite fast, maybe a PC player, he's got fancy dice. This guy, I think, has all the time in the world to be finishing off red here, getting the extra cards that I wanted. And it's not an instant trade, so that does give me a chance to try and, take some positions on the map. He'll have a big stack down here. He's about to trade. He's definitely the favourite to win this. But, I don't know. You never know when they're going to make a mistake. I'm drawn towards breaking his bonuses just because he's not. Oh, he has a cap there actually. Oh, why did I do that? I like misclicked. Even when I was saying I don't want to hit that. That's so annoying. I mean, he was winning anyway, but like, I'd rather have just won in a, lost in a, I was unlucky way than lost in a, I made a mistake way. Uh, like, he still would have been able to take that, but like, it's just, yeah, frustrating that it was coming off his cap. Can he run out of time here? Does, you know, we don't know what he's got on these, but you know, I think I have to try a cap run because if I don't, you know, he's just so vastly outnumbering me in troops that. Two cards. He's either got loads on these or like not very much, so I think I'll just leave the caps closed. Because he's either got like 140 on this, in which case it doesn't matter, or... Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hit that with a 60 anyway. He's on 3 cards. How much did he defend these with? I really can't remember if he fortified this back. Does he trade on 3? No. Oh, okay, GG. Because I can't trade over. Yeah, I don't think by the time that came down to the 1v1 that I could have won that. I think it was... something happened in the 3 or 4 player endgame that meant that he was going into this with too many extra troops. And I don't think it was necessarily even me. I think it could be the fact that Red suicided every single one of his troops into White. Meaning that Pink got 2 kills absolutely free. I've almost resigned a little bit mentally, but you know, I might have a chance if he does something silly. That was kind of lucky. I don't have the trade on 4. I can still take this, and all of this. He's open to both my caps anyway, so I might as well go for a wonder. Why did he do that? That was like just unbelievably done. Like, and he was a good player for the rest of it as well. Like, I don't understand like how he's able to, see both of those kills, pull them off perfectly, and not realize that taking all the caps wins the game. He's intermediate as well. Wow. He had so many chances to win that. Like, yeah, it's literally ridiculous. But yeah, just incredibly lucky for me that he did that. Pushes me up to top 50 in the world, 47th. I've got about an hour and a half left, so probably one more of these. Free Money says, just survive one more attack or that. Yeah, I think because I was on 4 cards and he was on 5, even though I didn't have the trade, I would have made it to 5 cards and been able to trade. He had his 44 stack open to my, 18 cap and 21 cap, so he could have